Stamping friends, Melissa Kerman here with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. Today I have a super simple project for you that features the Share What You Love designer paper and the Love What You Do stamp set. They're new products in the 2018-2019 annual catalog, and this is also a club project. And all my club members got a variety of different designer papers to choose from, and I made cards with I think maybe 8 of the different patterns, and so I gave them different color schemes to play with as well. So most of them, the majority of them, used this Tranquil Tide card stock as the background, and then I've used a piece of mint macaron, a little strip there on top of my black one, which I'm attaching right there. Now, for people who are getting these as kits in the mail, your small, thin colored strip may actually be longer than the black strip, in which case you'll just want to attach it and then snip off the edge. And it is good to attach it to your that piece there like I did with the Tranquil Tide. So if there's any difference in the sizing of the pieces, you can also shave off a little bit on the edge. I try to make it exactly, precisely the right length, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get it exactly perfect every time. So I'm really just assembling the card here. I've already die cut my sentiment. I've stamped it on a piece of the mint macaron, one of the returning in colors. Very excited to have that back in the color lineup. And I've stamped it and then cut it out with my stitched shaped framelits. You can see them up there in the upper right hand corner, the set of stitched edged framelits. I've also used the layering ovals framelits, which you see in the upper left hand corner of the screen, and I've already die cut my scallop edge oval. That's a bit difficult to say, and it's sitting there in behind the sentiment piece. And if you buy the stitched edge framelits, just know that they are a little bit particular in how you have to get them out. It's almost like they're stitched in there. So obviously it came out of that piece of cardstock easily, but taking it out of the die itself, you have to sort of tuck your finger in along the edge to sort of get it out of there. So one of the things I love about the stitched edge framelits is that they're circles, ovals, and squares, so they coordinate with the layering ovals framelits, and then also layering circles and layering squares. So they're really versatile. I love them. So I've done my sentiment piece in 2 different ways. In some cases I just attached it directly to the card, as I'm doing right here now. For a few of my card designs I used either silver or gold thread as an element in behind the sentiment, and I did that because the designer paper has some elements, some pearlized elements, and I thought it would look really nice with a little touch of shine. So you can see me here with the silver thread, and I'm just wrapping it around my fingers. I have my fingers spread apart to make sure it has the right length, so it will actually be seen behind the scalloped edged oval. So I've wrapped it around about 6, 7, maybe 8 times, and now I'm just pulling it off my fingers carefully, and I'm just going to twist it sort of like a figure 8. And that just helps to kind of hold it in place. Now I have adhesive in the back, on the back side of my oval already, and it's important that you put it on in advance, just because it's really hard to get the adhesive on there when you're kind of fumbling with the thread. And now I'm just kind of messing with them to spread out the pieces of thread to kind of make it look pleasing to me. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back side and attach it to my card. So you may notice I have some stays on there in front of me. I'm not using that for this card. I sort of stole this little clip from another video because I did do this element on another video recently. So you can see my version that has the dimensionals on the back already. So for the sentiment on this card, I actually used the Memento black ink, just so you know. So now I'm starting with my twine, and for the kits, the people who received kits, I just sent enough to double up black baker's twine alone, just because everybody got different designer papers, and I figured it'd be a lot easier to be consistent, and didn't know what variations people would want. So just went with simple. But on this one, as you can see, I just created an air bow by creating 2 dog ears with the baker's twine and just tying it into a nice little bow. Now I'm fiddling it with it here just to kind of get those ears to look like I want them to. And it can be a little bit tricky when you double up the baker's twine like this. some people hate doing air bows. So on one of my projects there is an alternative option, just using simple rhinestones. So you may choose that as an alternative. So here's a little trick that I do. I use just 2 regular old pencils and put the ears in there, and then I kind of double my finger ability. I know it sounds kind of funny, but it allows me to hold on to the tails of the bow and adjust the sizing of the ears and make them consistent and the same size. And so anyway, that works really well for me with any kind of ribbon, in fact. So I'm just going to snip off the ends and put glue dot in the center of that ribbon and attach it to my card. And I'm all done. So I've actually done 7 different variations of this card design with the different designer papers. And I've actually used 3 different embellishments or ribbons from 3 different suites in the new catalog. I've used the Rich Razzleberry Velvet Ribbon from the Share What You Love suite. And I've used the Nature's Twine, which comes in 4 colors from the Nature's Poem suite. And here are my samples. And I've also used the black 1/8 inch cord, which is a shiny cord, really, really pretty and fun to work with, from the Graceful Glass suite. So I've had a lot of fun with this and hope you do too. Thanks so much for joining me today, and consider joining one of my clubs, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this video and like it, and have a fabulous day. And I'll hope to see you back soon. Bye.